What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you'll see a Patreon account. You click it, you can become a member. All you got to do is try, recommend movies and music and trailers for me to react to. So click the link, homie. Now, with that being said, we are here today to review Venom, Let There Be Carnage, right? So I've been kind of waiting for this movie for a while, and keep it a buck, I was kind of thrown off by the trailer. I didn't think the trailer was going to be that good. I didn't think the movie was going to be that good. But I was like, you know what? Let me give it a chance. The first Venom movie was kind of mediocre. It was okay. It was más o menos, you know what I'm saying? I really hated the symbiote fights in the first Venom movie. But, you know, what can I do? I really did enjoy the buddy cop jokey aspect in the first film. It was kind of funny. They kind of did a really good job with it. But then we have Venom 2. So, quick synopsis, Eddie Brock, piggybacking off of the last film, still doing his little, reporter thing, and he interviews freaking Carnage, and Carnage bites him and ends up somehow from the blood he got from Eddie Brock, he ends up inheriting the freaking Carnage symbiote, thus Carnage is born, right? I'm not going to really get into details about the ifs, ands, or buts and what everything leads to, but just know that that's just the general idea of it. Now, Tom Hardy, to me, is wasting his fucking time with this movie. Why? Tom Hardy is such a great damn actor, and he would be such a fucking cool Eddie Brock. But it's like, I hate the aspect that this fool is such a weenie. Like, he's such a wimp. That's not what Eddie Brock is. You know what I mean? And when I watch this movie, the more and more I watch it, and the more it kind of like pushes away from the Spider-Man lore, I'm like, why didn't they just go ahead and just do the Agent Venom movie? You could have did Agent Venom. You could have saved us all this bullshit and trying to make it seem like some quasi Spider-Man freaking reimagining. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a... It gets so annoying when you're watching it and you're just like, yo, they just retconned this. Oh, they retconned that. Tight, right? So, the whole movie, I remember the first movie had some jokes in it. This movie is bombarded with jokes. Back to back to back to back to back. And it gets so repetitive that it loses its flow after a while. Like, you're just like, the first time you're like, ha, funny. Then you're like, ha, okay. And after a while, you're just like, that shit ain't funny. You know, like, it's so repetitive that it just takes the fun out of it. You cannot bombard the audience with constant jokes and just expect them to keep laughing. It's not going to work, you know? Another thing I noticed, a lot of the things used in this movie, they could have just made this movie fucking rated R. And we know why they didn't make a rated R, but we'll talk about that later. It has freaking tons of profanity. Even though the kills don't have any blood in it, they're still killing in it. And it's just like, you're watching a movie, you're just wondering to yourself, like, this just could have been R. Like, you know, there's an F-bomb in there. The word dick is in there, middle finger, all kind of stuff. And you're just like, this could have easily been an R. I don't know how they slid with a PG-13 title, but okay. All right, tight, you know, whatever. And like I said, Woody Harrelson in this movie, they wasted his time as well. I kind of figured that Woody Harrelson was going to dial it in. I knew he was going to dial it in. I knew he was going to buy into this character. I knew he wasn't going to really just try to embody this character, go into his natural born psycho mode. It just, his Carnage wasn't all that. And I didn't like the fact that they tried to humanize Cletus Cassidy. Cletus Cassidy is a freaking psychopathic murderer. No ifs, ands, or buts. They tried to make you sympathize for him, and they tried to make you feel sorry for him, and it's just like, yo, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, Cletus Cassidy is a fucking murderer. He's a straight up murderer. He don't care about nobody. All he cares about is himself. So this whole idea that you're trying to make him empathetic and you're trying to make him humanized and shit, I don't want to hear that shit. That shit was stupid, you know? And the kind of low-key retconning the symbiote thing, you seen it in a trailer. You already know what's up. Venom didn't have the birth of Carnage like he did in the comic books, or I guess in the TV show. I'm more familiar with the TV show, so I'm gonna go off with the animated TV show. He didn't give birth to Carnage like he did in the TV show, you know. And This happened a different way. I have tasted human blood, and that's not human blood. Eddie Brock, you have secrets. That shit was weak. That shit was stupid. I keep saying that they shouldn't have used Woody Harrelson. You had to get Woody Harrelson a hairpiece. You had to kind of like de-age him a little bit. I don't know if they de-aged him, but they probably just, give him a little nice little makeup on. You could have just went and you got old boy that played the Joker in Gotham, aka I think Ethan from what's that damn show? The Gallaghers. What the fuck is that show called? Shameless. Could have got Ethan from Shameless. He would have been a dope ass Carnage. I've been saying this shit since day one. He would have been a dope Carnage. You could have actually brought him in multiple films and he would have worked out. Easy, This movie felt too buddy cop. It just was too stupid. The whole idea, check this. The whole best friend breakup shit. Oh my God, that was so cliche. The story in this movie is freaking terrible. From beginning to end, the story is terrible. And I feel so upset that they wasted Carnage. They wasted Carnage just like they wasted Venom in Spider-Man 3. Wasted. And you're wasting Tom Hardy. You're wasting him. Like, straight up. I bet you Woody Harrelson read the script and was like, man, I'm going to just dial this shit home. Like, what's the whole point of even trying to do this? The script is so unbelievable, so stupid. And then even some of the CGI in this movie was trash. I think the only good thing about this movie was two things. One, it was one small part about the Venom versus Carnage fight that was tight. One small itty bitty tiny minuscule part that was tight. Then the post credit scene, easily. The post credit scene is better than the whole fucking movie, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. So this movie is so disappointing, and the fact that you have Tom Hardy and you have Woody Harrelson, and then you had, what the fuck is her name? Naomi Harris is in this movie as Shriek. And she is so fucking annoying in this movie. She ain't even on the screen that long. She's not even on the screen that long. And she's so damn annoying. I got so annoyed with her and she was barely even on the screen. I want her to die immediately. I wish she would have died. I wish she would have died. That's all I'm going to say. You figure out what I'm talking about later. I wish she would have died. This was stupid. Wasted fucking character. She was only there for plot purposes. And then even when she was there for plot purposes, it didn't even pan out the way, man, whatever. She wasn't even there for plot purposes. It was stupid. She was there for no reason. I didn't like how they tried to humanize Cletus Cassidy. He is a psychopath. He is a murderer. I didn't like how they butchered Eddie Brock. He is not a weenie. He's not a dork. And it's just so stupid, man. It's just dumb. And them dumbass poems that Woody Harrelson was coming up with, I get it. Like, sometimes Carnage throws out witty, rhyme schemes and poetry and shit. But it ain't never that cheesy. It ain't never that stupid. Like, I remember I used to collect the Marvel cards. And there was a Maximum Carnage edition where it was like Carnage, I think it was like Carnage USA. And it was like Carnage going to each, and like he would stop at different states, at different monuments and shit like that. And he would do things and write things like Carnage rules or some shit on Mount Rushmore and things like that. He did weird Eiffel Towers, the Statue of Liberty, things like that, dude. It was called Carnage USA or something like that. It was the Maximum Carnage edition. But anyway, I digress. I'm not even going to get into that. I didn't like Carnage's voice. You know, Eddie Brock and Venom have two different voices. I didn't like Carnage's voice. I felt like, I don't know if I'm just like a freaking like, like such nostalgic for the cartoon. I felt like his voice should a little bit more like high pitched and psychotic. It was just, I don't know. I couldn't buy into it, dude. It was just so fucking stupid. It literally was like, there's no reason, no explanation, no anything. It's just a movie. That's it. To me, it doesn't even feel like a superhero movie. It doesn't even feel like an anti-hero movie. And the sad part about it is this movie could have been decent. Could have been good with an R rating. And then you just buy into Venom being an anti-hero. Straight up. This whole, we are protectors. We are protectors. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, Here on the Cinema Chop Shop, we grade movies in 3 ways, count them 3 ways. Either you get bodied and sent to the bowels of hell, or you get spared and I'll tell you your movie was great, or you get a big fat meh, which means your movie was mid-grade, mediocre, mas o menos, mid, all that good shit. I'm gonna have to body this movie.
Get what you fucking deserve! I just caught me a mean body!
Yes, you heard me. I'll body this movie. Fuck this movie. It was ridiculous. It was worse than the first one. Didn't think it'd get that bad. But here we go. I'm going to talk briefly about the freaking post-credit scene. So if you have not seen this movie, get out of here immediately, because I'm not going to give you a warning past this point right here. Post-credit spoiler talk. Let's go. So we've known this for a very long time that freaking Venom was coming to the MCU. He was going to be meddled in between Spider-Man, and he's going to share the same universe with him. We know that that was the reason why they were keeping these Venom titles PG-13, so that he can cross over with Spider-Man and live. But it's kind of stupid, because it's like, if Deadpool is going to be in the MCU, why the fuck can't Venom be in the MCU, even though he had a track record of rated R movies? But I digress. So the end of the movie ends with Venom and Eddie Brock sitting in the freaking chilling in some sort of shack or something. And then you see the boom from the multiverse thing, like the little wave from the multiverse. And it changes the settings of everything. All of a sudden you see the TV, Joe Jana Jameson is on the TV talking about Spider-Man is really Peter Parker. Nah, Spider-Man is really Peter Parker. Nah, And then Venom walks up to the TV and he licks it. And then some guy walks in and is like, what are you doing in my room? So what it's doing right now is setting up the whole Venom being inside of the same universe as Spider-Man. Does this mean that Venom will show up in the next Spider-Man movie? Possibly, right? There's a huge possibility that he can, because we know that Morbius is in the same universe. How do we know this? Because Vulture is in Morbius and Vulture is in Spider-Man. So Venom being in Spider-Man now means that all 3 of these people share the same universe. So the cool thing about this movie was that it's bringing Venom into the MCU. The bad part is that it's this fucking Venom. This Venom is stupid. I don't like the way that he carries himself. I don't like how he's too jokey and things like that. I wanted a dark Venom. I wanted a really dark Venom, and I couldn't get it. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like when you wanted that dark, gritty Spawn and you just couldn't get it. I wanted a dark, gritty Venom, and we didn't get it. We did, and then we got fucked out of Venom twice already. And I'm a huge Venom fan. I like Venom, Carnage, all the symbiotes. I'm a huge symbiote fan. We got fucked twice. No Vaseline. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I think they're wasting Tom Hardy's potential. Tom Hardy, dude, is a great fucking actor. Amazing fucking actor. Hands down. I'm going to give that man all of his roses. Great actor. And the fact that he's withering away, wasting away, playing Venom, who low-key at times feels like the jokey Thor. You know what I mean? It's like Venom should be somewhat of a serious character with a couple of jokes. Remember how when you watch Blade, and Blade was like a straight up action movie and people were getting their ass whooped and killed left and right, and then Blade would say some funny shit here and there? It happens, right? And it worked along with the film. But Venom was just trying too damn hard to be funny from beginning to end. And then you had fucking Carnage and his love interest with Shriek, and that was fucking stupid. And then him and freaking the symbiote were beefing. Man, that shit, man, come on. We all know that Cletus Cassidy is a self-centered psychopath. He don't give a fuck about nobody but himself. So to try to make me sympathize with Cletus Cassidy and make me feel sorry for this fool, knowing that this man is a mass murderer, I don't care. I don't care if your dad beat you. I don't care if your grandma beat you. I don't care if your mom used to beat you. I don't care if you went to the little boys and girls club and then they whooped your ass too. I don't care. Why are you trying to humanize this man? The whole idea is that a symbiote has entered a psychopath's body, and this man is using that symbiote to cause mass destruction. And Spider-Man and Venom had to team up in order to defeat him, right? That was the central idea. Now, Spider-Man is not in this movie, obviously, so Venom had to do it himself. Now, it would have made more sense if Venom would have had to break out Shriek in order to get Carnage. They could have teamed up and fought Carnage. Now, to me, that would have been better. You know what I mean? instead of making her a fucking love interest. And I have no clue what's going on with that cop. I'm assuming that the cop, he's a I'm assuming he's like some sort of freaking character in the movie. I don't know. I don't know if he has like he's a character in the MCU because his eyes started glowing. So I don't know his purpose, but anyway, so that's my review. Let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop it in the comment section down below. And you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys are having a magnificent day. Adios, homies. And oh yeah, tune in tomorrow for the start of the month of madness, where I start to talk about every single day for the month of October. I give you guys a movie every day. I talk about it. Talk about a movie. I pick it. I watch it. I talk about it. So let's get it. Adios. See you tomorrow.